Good day, welcome to Mayor Kings TV News. I am Matsu Okwemitorishe and here are the headlines. Delta Assembly fixes public hearing on Gaming Board Bill. Oboiwo charges DESA, Delta Local Content Agency, to drive economic growth, institutional reforms. Unpaid electricity bills now 6 trillion naira. Trump's Board of Peace members pledged $7 billion in Gaza relief. Now the news in details. Lawmakers in Delta State House of Assembly have fixed February 24, 2026 for a public hearing on a bill seeking to establish the Delta State Gaming Board. The section is scheduled for 12 noon at the Press Center within Assembly Complex. The proposed law aims to consolidate gaming regulations under a single authority. It will repeal several existing statutes, including the Delta State Lotteries Board Law of 1976, the 1990 Lottery Law, the 1996 Pools Betting Control and Taxation. Chairman of the House Committee on Trade and Investment, Egbetama Ovie Collins, said the bill was committed to the committee on September 30, 2025. For detailed scrutiny, ministries, agencies, professional bodies, and gaming operators are expected to make both written and oral submissions. Interested stakeholders have been directed to submit 20 copies of their memorandum to the committee clerk on our behalf before 2026. The Assembly says the hearing will provide an avenue for board input to shape a comprehensive legal framework for gaming activities in the state. Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oboiwo Thursday charged Managing Director of the Delta State Structures for Synergy and Advertisement Agency and Director General of the Delta State Local Content Agency, Mr. Sebastian Oko, and Chief Stanley Kako, respectively, to spearhead economic growth and institutional reforms in line with strategic objectives of the MORE agenda. The governor, who gave the charge at the Government House Asaba during the swearing-in of the duo, expressed confidence in their ability to justify the trust reposed in them through appointments. It described the swearing-in as another significant step in his administration's determination to build a strong, diversified and resilient economy for Delta State. The governor noted that DESA, established by the Delta State Structure for Synergy and Advertisement Agency Law 2015 and the Delta State Local Content Agency, established in 2020, are critical institutions for the growth and expansion of the state's economy. The governor charged the new appointees to ensure fairness, transparency, and accountability in the discharge of their duties, stressing that their activities must align with the strategic imperatives of the MORE agenda. The Rivers State House of Assembly has suspended the impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu following the intervention of President Bola Tinubu earlier in the month. The decision to halt the process was taken on Thursday during the plenary at the Assembly, resumed sitting in Port Harcourt, the state capital. Speaking during plenary, Speaker Martin Amurile informed the House that withdrawal of the impeachment proceedings follows the intervention of President Bola Tinubu. He also informed the House that all court cases filed by the governor, his deputy, and the Rivers State House of Assembly have been withdrawn. It was earlier reported that its first sitting in 2026, the House commenced impeachment proceedings against Fubara and his deputy over alleged gross misconduct. During the plenary presided over by the Speaker, the Majority Leader, Major Jack, read a notice detailing the allegations of gross misconduct against the governor. The lawmakers also expressed the hope that the governor and his deputy will henceforth in line with the Constitution. Power generation companies under the umbrella of the Association of Power Generation Companies have disclosed that outstanding unpaid invoices for electricity generated and supplied to the national grid have surged to about 6 trillion naira, raising fresh concerns over the sustainability of power supply in Nigeria. The group said the growing debit burden, driven by revenue shortfalls and weak remittances across the electricity value chain, has significantly strengthened the financial capacity of the generation companies to invest in maintenance, fuel procurement, and expansion. The power generation companies also strongly rejected allegations by the Nigerian Labour Congress that electricity firms were engaged in institutionalized extortion, insisting that the coal power generation companies under the umbrella of the Association of Power Generation Companies have disclosed their outstanding unpaid invoices for electricity generated and supplied to the national grid have soared to about 6 trillion naira, raising fresh concerns over the sustainability of power supply in Nigeria. Several countries who have signed up to Donald Trump Board of Peace have contributed more than $7 billion towards a Gaza relief package that the US president has said. Trump made the announcement during the first meeting at the organization that met the US Western allies have refused to join, fearing the body originally meant to help end the war between Israel and Hamas may be intended to replace the United Nations. The second phase of the US brokered Gaza ceasefire plan includes the dismantlement of Hamas and the reconstruction of Gaza. Speaking at the Board of Peace convened on Thursday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel have agreed with our ally, the US, there will be no reconstruction of Gaza before the determination of Gaza. Ademola Lookman has expressed excitement during his UEFA Champions League debut for Atletico Madrid. Lookman made his first European appearance for Diego Simeone's side against Club Brugge on Wednesday night. The winner scored Atletico's second goal of the thrilling encounter late in the first half. It was the Nigeria's international third goal across all competitions for the Spanish Giants. Lookman took to the social media to celebrate his maiden appearance in the UEFA Champions League. The reverse fixture will hold at the Metropolitan Stadium next week. Now a recap on our headlines. Delta Assembly fixes public hearing on Gaming Board bill. Oborowori charges DASA, Delta Local Content Agency, to drive economic growth, institutional reforms. Unpaid electricity bills, now 6 trillion naira. Trump's Board of Peace members pledged $7 billion in Gaza relief. That's the news as edited by Timiola Emanuela. I am Matsu Okpamitorishe. Thanks for watching.